Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home. Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It's a great day to be alive, and I'm recording live from the Secret Sauce group on the Facebook, the Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating Now. If you're joining me here, hey, please pop in and say hey. And when I'm done recording, I'll say hey back. And if you have questions regarding what I'm talking about, please post there. And if you're not in the Secret Sauce group, join us. Come on, you're missing out. Come to the Secret Sauce group on Facebook. Just type in Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating Now. So I'm really super psyched to talk to you today. Like you're the people I need to talk to when I got something on my chest, okay? And I got to get off my chest because I know you'll understand. And there's a lot of people out there in the world who don't understand us, right? Don't understand the real issues going on with us. You know, there's all kinds of scientists and there's all kinds of people trying to figure us out and figure out this like weight loss conundrum and obesity conundrum. And I mean, it's bad. It is a conundrum. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But they're going about it the wrong way. I mean, they're spending billions of dollars trying to get to the bottom of it when it's such a simple solution. And this was really driven home this weekend. I went to an amazing conference, the Institute for Nutritional Endocrinology, which is a conference for really nerdy, grainy, really detailed stuff around nutritional endocrinology and how to, fix your hormones and your metabolic system and all that. So it was really great. It's put on by my good friend, Dr. Rita Marie Loscalzo, whom you might know. I promote some of her stuff here and there. She's brilliant and a good friend. But it was interesting. I was a speaker and I was super excited to be speaking. And I'm probably going to bring the topic that I spoke about there here to my podcast soon because it was about keto and intermittent fasting. And whether that works for emotional eaters. So I'll answer that in another podcast. But for right now, my burning message has to do with my observation about the fact that everybody who spoke at this conference, brilliant minds, incredible people, very well read, very amazing, research. Dr. Tom O'Brien and Dr. Alan Hopkins and Ocean Robbins and Steph Jackson and Rita Marie, of course, Dr. Rita Marie Loscalzo, and so many other amazing people who spoke, their message all about Michael Munoz, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his name. They had amazing information about keto, about the brain, about the gut. I mean, this is some really super granular stuff. And I was there talking about, does any of this matter when somebody is an emotional eater? And the answer is yes, it matters because emotional eaters can't actually do this stuff if they're compelled to eat. So no matter what kind of science they're giving us, okay, no matter what kind of studies, no matter what kind of, data they've gathered, none of it makes a hill of beans if somebody can't follow through, okay? Keto's a good idea, for some people to repair parts of the body. Intermittent fasting could prolong your life, whatever. Does it matter if somebody's an emotional eater and they're like driven to binge every other week in spite of what diet they're doing? No, it's a problem, right? And Dr. Alan Hopkins, who's an ER doctor, and he's worked with a lot of obesity patients, and he knows his stuff. I mean, he has a whole company called Your Lab Work, and he helps lay people actually be able to access labs. I mean, he's an amazing guy. I've actually had him on the show, but his message over and over was compliance, and he got it. He's like, compliance is the crux of the problem here, like compliance. And same with, Dr. Tom O'Brien, he kept talking about, if you have a tire around your middle, that's causing the problem. Like, get rid of your tire. He kept saying, probably said it 10 times, like, get rid of that tire around your middle. And that's easier said than done, right? And so people are trying to get rid of that tire and it's not going anywhere. And so his message was essentially about compliance, like get rid of the tire. I mean, obesity and belly fat, this is causing so many problems in our lives. I mean, obesity is, 40% of our country is obese. 40%, that's outrageous. 40% of the people in this country are carrying that spare tire around their middle, and it is causing like so many health problems. I mean, so many very dire health problems. I mean, obviously obesity, that's the obvious thing, but we're talking about diabetes, we're talking about heart disease, hypertension, metabolic syndrome, autoimmunity. We're talking about gut issues that leads to brain issues. We're talking about mouth issues that lead to gut issues, brain issues, and loss of memory and loss of mobility and loss of happiness. I mean, the emotional is a whole nother level of health, problems and complications that happen when somebody is dependent on food. They're a food addict or an emotional eater. So, I mean, we were covering these problems and we were finding solutions, but the number one message was, if somebody doesn't follow through, obviously they're not going to get where they need to go with their health. And that's my message as well. All these diets, a diet by any other name is still a diet for an emotional eater, because we're always trying to hack the system in our own weight loss. We're always trying these new things. And I promote some of these people who have written these amazing books on, amazing diets that are for health reasons. The problem is, and I'm always a little reluctant to even send emails out about this, the problem is emotional eaters use them as diets. They're still looking for a quick fix, and that's the problem. And it's not fixing anything because they can't comply, they can't follow through. And I know if you're listening to me, I'm sure you've done this many, many times. I'm sure you can relate. Like you go from one to another, one food plan, one diet, one exercise, another exercise plan, another product or spray or cream, or my God, there are so many people trying to figure out or hack this weight loss conundrum. And the solution is right under our nose right now. And so I implore you to stop dieting. I implore you to stop chasing your tail. I implore you to stop failing. My God, your self-esteem does not need one more failure. Thank you very much. I hear all the time people saying to me, I don't believe anything will work for me. I believe I'm hopeless. And what I say to that is, you are hopeless if you keep doing what you're doing, if you keep doing things that don't work, if you keep following the physical and not the emotional, okay, and what's going on between your ears. You will continue to fail if you don't heal your hungry heart, okay? You will fail. Yeah, you'll fail. Yeah, save your money. Keep your money in your pocket. If you're going after another diet, another meal plan, another hack, another, quick fix or workaround, that's different from going deep and healing the underlying causes of emotional eating, save your money. You're pissing your money away right now. You might as well take your entire wallet, go to the bathroom, and dump it in the toilet, okay? And flush that sucker. Flush that sucker. All your money's going right down the drain if you're chasing a physical solution to your weight loss woes, okay? So, and I mean it. I'm not, talking crack here. I'm seriously, I'm serious about this because I care about you, and I've been around, long enough, 30 years doing this work, over 30 years, to know that there's no hack. There's no shortcut. The number one question in weight loss is compliance. How to get people to comply. How to get people to actually follow this stuff. Those diets, some of them are very sound. The food plans and many of the books that, my colleagues are writing, fantastic information, fantastic science. I'm not knocking the diets themselves. If somebody were to eat that way, the problem is when emotional eaters buy those books, they can't comply. That's the crux of the problem. That's the big question. The big kahuna question in weight loss is compliance. Dr. Alan Hopkins said it over and over and over again, and Dr. Tom O'Brien said, he didn't say compliance. He just said, do this. He didn't realize that emotional eaters can't comply. That's why they aren't going to go do that. They're not going to go get rid of that spare tire. So I want to carry this message that the big question in weight loss success is how to follow through with whatever good advice you've heard, whether it be from a coach, whether it be from a doctor, whether it be from a book or a program. Okay, your problem is not nutritional knowledge. Okay, you're not stupid. Okay, you know what to eat. Come on, be real. There's no new information out there about what makes you fat and what helps you lose weight. There's no new information. You know, okay. The people in my tribe, the people in the secret sauce group, the people, listening to this podcast right now, my clients, the people I work with one-on-one, the people who are in my amazing program, they're getting lots of results from, they aren't stupid and they know damn well what to eat and what not to eat, but they can't follow through. Okay. And it's on account of emotional eating. So this is the $1 million question. Why can't people follow through? And it's because emotional eating isn't being addressed. Okay. These amazing people who have all the science behind them and all the amazing, amazing recipes in their books, great recipes. But if you are hurting, if you are stressed, if you put too much on your plate emotionally, and in terms of activities in your schedule, assignments, projects, time with family, you have overloaded your system with so much, probably because of a need to please. I know I've got your number, girl. I got your number. Probably because of a need to please and impress and prove, oftentimes to ourselves, right? So I need to impress and please and prove, okay? When we don't have that self-esteem inside, we're out there chasing it. We are chasing that validation from all different corners of our lives, trying to get that feeling that we're good enough. I did it for years, and I catch myself doing it still. My dad died 18 years ago. I had tremendous respect for my dad. I love my dad. He's awesome wherever he is, and I feel his spirit with me often. But I sometimes catch myself wanting to prove to my dad that I'm successful. I want to prove to my dad that I'm living a good life. So I've got it too, So the point is, we run ourselves ragged doing this, and that is going to lead to overeating. So you've got to watch this. You've got to see that you've got so much on your plate trying to prove yourself. And if you don't start living differently, you'll never be able to comply. Because the reason we bust out in a binge is because we don't have the stores inside to draw upon. The reason why 75% of emotional eaters, their worst time with food is in the late afternoon is because that's when their resources are gone. They got nothing to draw on from inside. They are like running on fumes, and they're grabbing for peanuts, they're grabbing for chocolate, they're grabbing for chips to fuel themselves because they're out of steam and they don't have a self-care plan. They don't have a plan to keep them from grabbing that snack food. And if you don't have a plan, that's where you're going to go with it. And that's why 98% of all diets fail. That's why compliance is the big question mark. How are we going to get people to comply? All the people in the world who are trying to crack the code of the obesity conundrum would be well served to realize and to hear this conversation that the compliance issue has to do with emotional eating. When emotional eaters are emotionally bonded to food, when they are reaching for food to fuel themselves because of their underlying causes that are going unaddressed, that's what needs to be it. That's where the science should be. Although it's not rocket science. We don't need a lot of case studies or studies and data on this. You and I get it, right? Like, I know if you're listening, I know you get this. That's why I love talking here, because I know you get this. Like, it's not complicated. And I know you're also seduced by science, okay? Science is very, studies are very seductive, but they mean diddly squat if we can't comply. The science of keto, the science of intermittent fasting, the science of whatever kind of diet out there, that's new on the market, means diddly squat if we can't comply. So don't be seduced by science. Look at the record for yourself. Do you continue to feel compelled to snack? Do you weaken at the knees when you're around candy and cookies and cake and ice cream? or if sweet things aren't your thing, are you compelled by the chips, by the salty, by the crunchy? It's always sugar, starch, and fat, guys. It's always sugar, starch, and fat. Those are my 3 favorite food groups. If you can get them on one item, hooray. But that's because I needed that relief. I needed that painkiller. I needed that escape. And I needed that punishment because I had deep-seated feelings of self-hatred. So, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but look, I know you get seduced by quick fixes, and I hope you'll stop. I hope you'll stop, and I hope you'll reach out for a new solution, one that actually works, one that isn't like all those other things, all those silly quick fixes for a problem that goes much deeper. Your problem is not food and weight. Your problem goes deeper. It has to do with your heart, your hungry heart. There's stuff inside of you that's not being fed right now. We need to start feeding that. And we need to start addressing those crazy thoughts in between your ears that you think nobody would ever understand. Because guess what? There's a whole lot of people who understand. My Heal Your Hunger community, they get it. I mean, there's nothing you could think and nothing you could write in that group. If you join my program and you're in the Facebook group, people share stuff in there that it's like, OMG, but they're sharing it because they know they're talking to other people who thought and felt the same way. I mean, it's almost comical, and we do laugh about it. I mean, if other people who don't have this problem could hear what goes on between our ears, they would be horrified. And that's part of the fear we have. I thought for years, if anybody ever knew what I was thinking, they would lock me up because my thoughts were so crazy and self-destructive, and sometimes a little destructive toward other people. I mean, I had a lot of anger, so I would have some really hateful thoughts. And I thought if anybody ever knew what I was thinking, they would lock me up. But not so in the Heal Your Hunger community. Not so. My Heal Your Hunger community is for people who go through my 90-day program, and they're sharing in there, and they're getting camaraderie. They're laughing at the stuff that goes on between our ears, because we're all so common. I mean, come on. We haven't thought up any new stuff, any new sins. So I really just want to say that, going deeper is the solution. That is the answer to the weight loss, problem, the conundrum, the obesity conundrum is compliance, and compliance only happens when we clear out that garbage that's blocking us from the grace of God. You clear out that stuff inside that you think makes you so bad, or, that you're beating the hell out of yourself for. You clear that stuff out. You get a self-care plan, that you're like clockwork with the support of other people doing the same thing. When you have a way of eating that's simple and straightforward, no gimmicks, no tricks, it's simple, straightforward, and it removes your compulsion to overeat. When you have these things, these components, these are all in my 90-day program. Of course, this is what I'm teaching. This is what I'm guiding people through, and people are getting amazing results on account of it. When you do that, you can comply. And yes, you will have weight loss success. That's the key. The key is to have a plan that works, have a system that works. Don't just, shoot in the dark. Don't just, point something at the wall and let it go and hope that it lands in the bullseye. Not going to happen. Have a system, a proven system that works. Stop the dieting gimmicks. Stop thinking there's a quick fix. Deal with the real stuff. Get on a plan that has nothing to do with dieting, that has nothing to do with food or weight. For goodness sakes, you've tried that. You've got the data to show. You want to talk about science? Look at the science of your own life. Look at the science of failed diets. There's some hard data on what doesn't work. And go instead with a plan that does work, that will address and heal the underlying causes, so you can finally break free from the merry-go-round of yo-yo dieting, the merry-go-round of binge eating, losing it and gaining it, losing it and gaining it, getting control, losing control, gaining, getting control and losing control. All that merry-go-round. You don't need to be on that anymore. You can jump off now. So anyway, feel free to message me here on Facebook if you want to have a chat with me, or in the show notes. You can actually sign up now for a breakthrough session with me, and we can talk more about your personal experience and your, what's been working or not working for you. And, Trust me, I understand. So I'll be happy to help you find, the number one thing that's in your way and the number one shift you need to make to finally have weight loss success. So I look forward to chatting with you, and I appreciate your tuning in to yet another show. And please share this show with your friends, because it's not, it's not usual diet and exercise fare that we're serving up here. So great to have you. Tune in next time and join us in the secret sauce to end emotional eating now. Love you, love you, love you. Take care.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.